Hello everyone, I'm Vinayak Mane and this is my project about the IMDB reviews classification into the positive and negative reviews. I use industry grade MLOPS architecture in this project. I use the tools like DVC, DAXUP, MLflow, Prometheus, Grafana, and as well as I use the Kubernetes as well. I deployed the Kubernetes cluster actually on the AWS using the EKS and deployed the Prometheus and Grafana using the EC2 servers on the AWS. Also, I use the S3 as a remote storage for the DVC. Let's dive deeper into the project and the code and the architecture of a project. So this is the DVC, this is the DAXUP, sorry. So this is the DAXUP. So if I go in the experiment, I can see the MLflow UI over here. Yeah. So let's go into the MLflow UI. So in this project, I initially started with a baseline model using the logistic regression, and I got the accuracy of 61% in that and precision of 60%, F1 score of 60% in that. Um, then I tried different methods to improve the accuracy of that. So in this one method, I did hypertuning between the logistic regression, random forest, multinomial naives, and other models, and tried with different parameters. So I got I got the best F1 score with the logistic regression using the trigrams and trigrams and using these parameters. So I got F1 score around 82%, which is quite impressive, and accuracy of 82% as well. So I think my project is then finalizing this model into production. So in my project workflow, I'm doing the model registry using the DVC, and it's actually registering the newest model, the model which is having the best accuracy among all the models in the production, so that every time my ML application is exposed to the new model and the model with the high accuracy. So as you can see over here, this is my version 24 of the model which is under production. So when I initiated the pipeline for this, my project actually check the new model with the old models, and it's compare all the evaluation matrices with that, and whichever is having the most accuracy and the best accuracy got promoted to the production, and all the other got archived. All the other production model got archived, and the models which are not having the accuracy are in the staging right now. So it's all happening under the hood, and I use the DVC for that. um let's go right, so let's see the application now. Okay, so this is my application. I write one review over there. So if I analyze the statement sentiment, it's saying the positive sentiment. And if I say this review is no good, so analyzing the sentiment, it's taking some time for the negative reviews. I'm saying positive. Or I'll just say the bad review. This review is bad. So yeah, so that's saying negative sentiment now. It's also showing the response time and everything. I can also check the metrics of this application using this metrics. And these metrics are actually exposed to the Prometheus. And my Prometheus is deployed on the EC2 server. And also the Grafana is deployed on the EC2 server over here, as these are my two EC2 servers. I use T3 small servers on the EC2 instance. Okay, so this is my Prometheus, which is listening to the metrics, and this is my Grafana, which is listening to the Prometheus. So now I made the dashboard using different types of metrics over here. So this is my P95 latency metrics. As you can see, it's showing 4.63 requests per endpoint. It's showing around 0.3, then average in France, and then cost per request in US dollar, and prediction count. So cost per request is actually it's around quite low, 0.00000556. That's quite actually low per second, per request. Okay, so this is all about the Prometheus and Grafana. Yeah, let's go into the application right now. Okay, so as I said earlier, I use DVC in that. So if I do the DVC repro, So it should run all the pipelines one by one, like data ingestion, data preprocessing, feature engineering, model building, and all model registration as well. But currently it's saying data and pipelines are up to date. It is because I already ran that and there are no new changes in that. But if let's say if I do some changes in my YAML file, if I change the test size from 20 to maybe 30%, if I do that like this, and if I run the DVC once again, so it basically changes everything. So it starts from the data ingestion, data preprocessing, feature engineering, model evaluation, registry as well. So it's starting everything again. So that's mean whenever my data is getting changed, my pipeline are executed one by one automatically using the DVC. Also, I also use the CI/CD in this. So whenever I'm pushing some changes to the GitHub, the CI runner is doing exactly the same job I'm doing on the local system, and it's actually calling the model. It's actually calling the data set from the S3 bucket. I have the S3 bucket over here, and I kept my data set or one copy of my data set over there. So it's calling that CI runner is calling that data set over there. Then it's doing the data ingestion. Then it's doing the feature engineering, data preprocessing, all the other steps. This is my data.csv. So this is my then my CI/CD is doing all the jobs, so model building and training, the evaluation as well, and promoting that model to the production using the ML DAX sub token. So as you can see over here, the running stage model evaluation is almost complete. Let's see the other things till then. So this is my CI/CD workflow over here. That's my CI/CD YAML file. Then this is my Kubernetes YAML file. I'm using this image, which is a latest image which I pushed to the ECR Elastic Container Registry of the AWS, and I'm using the two replicas of that, means two pods. So if my one pod fails, the other pod will be active and the request will be sent to that. So I gave the memory and the CPU to the pods, and this is my service YAML file. I exposed the port 550 on CPU. Then that's my Docker file. Then this is my parameter files. Okay, so as you can see over here, the pipeline execution is done using the DVC repro, and it says that it's created the version 25 of my model. So if I go back in the ML flow and if I see over here, all right, so that's my product version 25, but it's under staging because the model in the production actually is having the higher accuracy than the version 25. So uh, so there is no point of changing the test size to 30 from 20%, because our accuracy is decreasing. So 20%, 25% is really good. Okay, so this is all about the TVC. I'll show you now let's see now. Um, mm, okay, so let's see now the GitHub actions. Right. Yeah. So I did one push a few minutes ago, and it's all executing all the things over there, like running the model test, promoting the model to production, then the login into the AWS ECR, login into the EKS as well, and then pushing the images to ECR, then doing everything in the like updating creating the Kubernetes cluster as well and deploying to Kubernetes cluster as well. So everything is doing by everything my CI runner is doing over here. Okay. So okay. I'm also using the logging over here, as you can see. So it's logging all my steps. Then these are my metrics. So it's recording the metrics of the current model. So previously my model has the 82% accuracy because I use 0.25 test size. Now I use the 30% of test size. That's why my accuracy is dropped. And that's why in the ML flow, the model is under staging and it's not promoted to production. Then it's also saying the run ID and the model path as well. Yep. So that's my DVC YAML file. There are all the steps written over here. All right. Thank you so much. This is all about my project.